Our foster care system is shattered. And this podcast is about how we as a community can come together to bring about change. Change in the system and changing the lives of children in foster care. Hi, my name is Rob Scheer. I'm the founder of a national charity called Comfort Cases. I'm an advocate for children in foster care. I'm a public speaker. I'm an author of A Forever Family. But most important, I'm a dad to 5 of the most amazing kids. Welcome to the Fostering Change podcast. Well, it's hard to believe we're here at another episode of Fostering Change. And it's really exciting because this is National Foster Care Awareness Month. You know, we actually kicked this off about 3 days ago. And for those of you who have followed us on social media or have maybe been listening to our podcast, we all know about May. The month of May is when they decide to give us 1 month when it comes to foster care. I remind people all the time that every single day we should talk about kids who are entering foster care. You know, our next guest, this morning when I woke up, I was trying to figure out, was I going to wear my typical Comfort Case shirt that so many of you see me in, or was I going to wear a shirt that I think I'm actually going to save for our next meeting, which is 700. 700. You know, I think about that number every single day because that is the number of children that we average in the United States that enter foster care. And as I remind people all the time, kids enter foster care because of choices other people make. That is not the choice that they want. And these children are not bad children. They're children that just need to be loved, to know that they matter, they're not invisible, and they're not disposable. Disposable. You know, I will be taking the trash out tonight because tonight's our trash night. My 5 children will gather and we will gather all the trash throughout the house and we will put them all in this. A black trash bag. And, you know, every week when I do that, I think about the number of children who enter foster care who are actually handed a trash bag. A trash bag. You know, we take them away from the only home they know. We try to say that we're rescuing them. And then we do not think about their mindset. And we hand them a trash bag. Well, there's something new getting ready to happen, and it's been happening actually for the last 7 years. See, the most leading luggage company then in the world, Briggs Riley, they actually came to me not long ago and asked if I wanted to be a part of this amazing program that they do every year, A Case for Giving. You know, at first I will have to say, I'm a pretty blunt guy. I was like, why would I want to give a piece of luggage that someone else used to a child in foster care? But then it's a Briggs and Riley. And I have to tell this quick story before I invite Richard on to start talking about this. See, I've told most of you, all of you who have read my book know, I grew up in the system. I was handed a trash bag. I was told that I wouldn't amount to anything. I aged out of foster care, carrying a trash bag, and again, being told that I wasn't going to be something. Well, guess what? I did it. I did it. I became a successful businessman, and I never looked back. And I remember when I walked into the store to buy my first piece of luggage that hadn't been given to me or I bought it off the local 5 and dime store. And it was a Briggs and Riley. That's right. A Briggs and Riley. I was so excited. You unfolded this piece of luggage. I could fit 3 of my suits in this luggage as I traveled all over the country for my job. You know, I didn't really know the history of Briggs and Riley, but today, my guest, Richard Krulik, the CEO of Briggs and Riley, who is going to be here to not only talk about the amazing history of Briggs and Riley, but why Comfort Cases was chosen for their amazing program and about how you can all get invited. Richard, thank you for coming to Fostering Change.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
This is so incredible. I was talking to some social workers, by the way, throughout the country who are going to be a part of this amazing program. And they were absolutely in awe that there is an opportunity for a child in our system to be given a Briggs and Riley. I really would like to go back to 7 years ago when you all decided to do this program.
Well, thanks again for allowing me to be with you on the show here. It actually went back a little more than the 7 years, and the impetus of the whole program was at a travel goods show. I think it was about 10 years ago or so. I was talking to somebody who was in the foster system and was doing things very much the way you said you experienced, where he was explaining to me at our luggage show booth about the foster care system and his role in it, and what his involvement was, and how it would be wonderful if a luggage company were involved in what he did, because he explained how these kids that leave foster care on the first day that they're getting adopted by a family, it's a wonderful, happy, momentous day that is filled with excitement and so much joy. And then, the child walks out of the foster home and gets into their hopefully forever family car, and they're walking out with a trash bag. And how, sort of, it just takes the bloom off the rose. And that was really something that stuck with me after that conversation. And I came back to the office and we started talking about trying to do something with addressing that issue, because you can imagine a 5-year-old, an 8-year-old, a 10-year-old, in your case, a teenager, um, having this amazing day, but having it, sort of besmirched by throwing everything in a trash bag, and what that must feel like. I can only imagine you've actually experienced it. So we spoke to the folks. We I spoke to the folks back at the office, and we started formulating some ideas. How can this work? What can we do? Is there a way to put something into place? And a couple of years later, the logistics were able to be figured out, and some kind of program was able to be put together. And what we ended up with, which I'm really very proud of, is a case for giving. And we invited our retailers to participate, and they really were wonderful, wonderful partners in helping to have this program come to fruition.
So, Richard, I know one of the things about Briggs and Riley is that you all guarantee your luggage for life. For
Mhm.
life. So I did my research, and there's no other luggage company out there that does that, by the way.
No.
There is a warranty on the higher end scale in luggages like yours is. I consider your luggage the S class of luggage,
Mhm.
but you're the only company out there that guarantees the luggage for life. Does that guarantee go along with the kids who are going to be receiving this as well? So if Susie is off to college with her piece of Briggs and Riley and that wheel breaks, for me, which by the way, I want everybody to know this, Reese pulled out the luggage because I'm getting ready to go on a trip, and we were laughing because I was like, this piece of luggage has had over 100,000 miles on it, and I say that because that's how much I've traveled up prior to the pandemic, and it looks brand new. It really looks brand new. So do you continue that thought of guaranteeing this piece of luggage for life?
When we sell a piece of Briggs and Riley luggage, the guarantee, as you pointed out, is for life. If something goes bad with the bag, then we take it upon ourselves as part of that that commitment to the consumer. So what I would say is when somebody has a Briggs and Riley bag that has a defect or something gets broken on it, we don't ask for a receipt. We don't ask, where did you get it? We don't say, are you the original owner or anything of the sort. So effectively, the warranty would apply on any bag that has the Briggs and Riley name on it,
It's amazing.
and it would be repaired.
That is amazing. I actually was able to speak to some of your retailers, and I actually was in one of your retail stores a couple of weeks ago, and I told him, I said, I really want you to tell me the truth. What's the favorite bag here in this store? And as you know, these retailers sell more than just the Briggs and Riley brand. And he actually said that the Briggs and Riley brand was the most popular, and it was because of the guarantee. And it was because of how it holds up, and that I think he had said he'd been there for 3 or 4 years, and he had never had anyone bring a Briggs and Riley back to even needing repair. So, that alone tells us, what an amazing product this is. And, I want to go back to the fact of what you said, a child, coming into the system, a child being adopted to their forever family, a child who's aging out, and giving them that trash bag, can really do so much damage. That children in foster care, Richard, actually suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder twice the rate as our combat veterans coming back from the front line.
Mhm.
And if the damage that we do by giving them a trash bag, I've seen the look on kids' faces, either when they've been given a trash bag, or in our case, they're given a comfort case, and you do
Mhm.
see a different light in their eyes. We've kicked this program off a couple of days ago. And so, we've got social service agencies all over the country who are waiting to take these cases in. Tell me exactly what someone who has a Briggs and Riley bag and they want to participate in this program, what exactly can they do?
So up until this year, the program was basically centered around retail stores, brick and mortar stores. So we would try and get as many retailers around the country, brick and mortar retailers, whether it's department stores, luggage specialty stores, to be part of this program. And simply put, people would bring a bag, a usable piece of luggage, into the retail store, and it didn't even have to be a Briggs and Riley bag, because our feeling was, if someone has a piece of luggage that's sitting around and it's no longer needed by them, then put it to use. Let's have it have a second life and a second purpose. So we will actually make the program such that people can bring any brand of luggage into the retail store, and they'll get a credit that can then be applied to the purchase of a Briggs and Riley bag, and will help facilitate that used piece of luggage to be donated to a local foster home. Or, until comfort cases, we were kind of working with our retailers for them to figure out where that bag would best be able to be going to. So most of the time, we try to connect with a local foster home with that retailer. Um, Sometimes it would be like a battered women's shelter or something like that. So the beauty of what we're doing now with comfort cases is, the intended purpose that the program was created for now has the opportunity to be a nationwide network of foster homes, to really direct every piece of luggage that's returned to a foster home. This year, we're really excited about the idea that we were able to bring the logistics of that and the technology of that to actually be part of our Briggs and Riley website. So people can actually return their luggage and to us in our warehouse, and we will then give them a credit for them to use in that way. And then we're consolidating all those bags, and we're working with you and Comfort Cases to make sure those bags get in the right hands.
I say this all the time about books. There's no such thing as a used book. It's only a book that's been loved. And I will
Mm,
say this right now. There's no such thing as a used Briggs and Riley luggage. It's only a piece of luggage that's been loved.
right.
We're going to take a break right now. Listen, whether you're listening to us on your favorite podcast platform, Apple, Deezer, Google, Spotify, I would like for you to please make sure you do me a big favor. Number one, share the podcast. There are people out there who are listening to this and they don't realize that their friends who have a Briggs and Riley or another piece of luggage that they want to donate do not know about this program. Please also make sure that you leave a comment. If you have a question, you can always email us at fosteringchange@comfortcases.org. And do me a favor, subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is our first season that we've actually been on YouTube where you can actually watch our podcast. Last year we were absolutely humbled to be voted one of the top 10 podcasts in foster care and adopt. This year, I hope we get that honor again, and that's why we've added our YouTube channel. So we'll be right back. And once again, please make sure you visit Riley.com and find out about this amazing program that kicked off on May 1st for National Foster Care Awareness Month. Thank you. This episode of Fostering Change is sponsored by Comfort Cases, a national nonprofit that is inspiring our communities to bring dignity and hope to youth in foster care. For just $10 a month, you can support the Comfort Cases mission to eliminate trash bags from the foster care system. For every $10 donated, a Comfort XL duffel bag will be given to a child entering foster care. Please help us be part of the change. Go to comfortcases.org and see how you can help a child entering our foster care system. Well, welcome back. It's National Foster Care Awareness Month, and this is our first podcast that we're kicking off for this amazing month, and I'm so excited that we're actually kicking it off with my friend Richard Krulik, who is the CEO of Briggs and Riley. In the first half of the show, we were talking about this amazing program, A Case for Giving, how you can actually go in and donate your Briggs and Riley to any of the local distributors, or even go to their website. It really made me think a lot about, corporate responsibility. It's something that I talk about quite often. Up until last year, Comfort Cases, which is 8 years old now, we have delivered over 150,000 comfort cases in all 50 states, DC, and Puerto Rico. And we have done this up until this year without much corporate sponsors. And so when Briggs and Riley came in and said that they wanted to stand next to us, and by the way, this is something I say quite often. We have had companies come and they've talked to me about it. I love to have a corporate sponsor, but let me tell you what I don't want. I don't need your check. What I need you to do is stand next to me. Stand next to me and weather the storm of foster care, which is what Briggs and Riley is doing. And I am hearing, Richard, that you guys, when I first thought that this was something you did 7 years ago, this has actually started a while back. I'd like to talk a little bit about what you feel corporate responsibility is to our communities.
Okay. Well, first of all, I think what you've done with Comfort Cases is just amazing, and the responsibility that you've taken to help a cause that's near and dear to your heart. So, I just want to recognize that first and foremost. But my feeling is, and we've done a handful of corporate outreaches where we've taken some participation in things that I feel, and hopefully people throughout my company feel, we can make a difference as a collective group. Without getting political or anything like that, I don't think political views should enter into it, but I do feel that social good and the collective power of a group of people in a company can certainly make a difference to improve lives of those around us. And certainly foster care and helping the kids that are finding their forever home is something that I just felt was a very worthwhile initiative and effort that we took on as a company. And I think companies should do something where they can take that collective power of all the people in their company and try and do something that doesn't have to be controversial. It doesn't have to be Republican or Democrat or things like that. It could just be something to make the world a little better tomorrow than it was yesterday. So, we do things like comfort, Case for Giving is an important one. We're also focusing very much on being a much more sustainable company and partnering with the National Forest Foundation to try and help with that. We've worked over the years, many, many years, over 20 years with Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. Now they're known as JDRF, very simply. And so we've taken our collective power and just tried to make an impact on making the world a better place. And a Case for Giving is one that I'm really proud that we've kept going for all the years that we've done it. And we're in an industry that is uniquely positioned to really help with the type of product that we make. So it really works out wonderful that we can not only help the sustainability by keeping usable bags out of a landfill, so that feeds the sustainability part of it, but we could also help kids that are in foster care that can have that dignity of using products that we make and that our competitors make, that we make sure get repurposed and reused and loved a second time, as you so well put it at the first part of the program.
The fact is you're doing what we all should be doing, which is being good humans. We need to invest in our future, and to invest in a child in foster care is actually investing in our future. When
It
we look
is.
at the average of about 30,000 children a year who are aging out of foster care, and that 70% of those children will actually become homeless, I think a lot about what my friend Tiffany Haddish says. She and I have this goal of no more trash bags. She's given out thousands of pieces of luggage. And when she was in foster care and she received her first piece of luggage, it was how it made her feel. And it's like me, when I bought my first Briggs and Riley, it was like how it made me feel. It is a difference. And I don't think people realize. I want to go back a little bit because I was so excited to hear you say this. You talked about, the luggage not ending in the landfill fills. So by able to repurpose these beautiful pieces of luggage, we are actually your company is actually doing several things. I mean, not only are you giving this, gently loved piece of luggage to a child who, by the way, I'm going to say this right off the bat. My son, 20 years old, arrived in my home at the age of 18 with a trash bag. And there would have been never in a day would he ever thought that he would be able to buy or to have a Briggs and Riley. That's many, many kids in the system. So here you're able to give this piece of luggage to them, but you're also protecting our future by, keeping these pieces of luggage out of landfills, which, by the way, these are being filled with landfills.
Right.
I live in a little town called Darnestown, Maryland, and it's Montgomery County, Maryland. And we actually have a bill that if you cannot use trash bags at the grocery store, and if you do have
Mhm.
to use a plastic bag, you have to pay. Isn't that crazy that we can do that, but we still give these to kids in foster care and they
Yeah.
fill our landfill?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
what made you decide? Because I like I said, I've done some research on Briggs and Riley, and you guys do a lot when it comes to making sure that our future planet is our planet is we leave it cleaner than it is. What was that aha moment for you to make that step as well? Because I hear that you do a lot of things within your even your corporate office when it comes to recycling, when it comes to the lighting, all of those things.
I think it's been something that's always been part of who I am in terms of just being trying to be sensible with uh, not waste and helping the planet. I mean, this is, we all live here. It's our only planet. So there's little argument to be had about trying to do things to make it a better place for all of us. There may be multiple sides of an argument about degrees of climate change and certain subtleties within that discussion, but there's no question that anything that any of us could do to make the planet a little less polluted and a little less just wasted, is a benefit. So there's uh, a radio commercial I hear in New York a lot where I live. I think it's called like Just One Thing, and it's very smart. They say, they give an example of just one thing that somebody could do, and and that resonated with me a lot when I hear it, because I think very much in that way. If we all can do just one thing, if we could stop using plastic bottles, if we could, take that piece of luggage and keep it out of a landfill, and do two things by also giving it to a foster child. It just really makes a lot of sense to me, and I think that's something that we can all make an impact on in our own little ways. It doesn't have to be where somebody dedicates their whole life to a cause like you so wonderfully have. But if everybody in our company and everybody in different parts of the world were to do a couple of little things on a consistent basis, it could really, really move the needle.
I
So, all of these puzzle pieces come together so nicely to be, trying to come up with some ways to make the world a better place is what the overall effort is that we're trying to do.
I agree with you 100%. If we all just did one thing, I believe that we are a world full of doers. I just believe that some of us just don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And, with comfort cases, we hope that, we're leading them towards that. And whether you're giving to, the local homeless shelter, or you're going down the beach and picking up, bottles that have come up onto the shoreline, whatever it is, it's the fact that if we just would do, and we can all make a difference. We can all make a difference. My passion, as I tell people, I took my pain into passion when it came to foster care. I that was for me, and for other people, it's other things. But you are right; it's the whole doing thing. Richard, I said this a long time ago when this first popped up, and you and I were going to have this call, and that we've had so many meetings. You and I both are very similar in the one thing that I have seen. Your team and my team are amazing. And
Yeah.
they are amazing. And I figured this out just the other day. And I think this is something that Briggs and Riley does on a daily basis. When you have an employee that works for a company that truly cares about not only them, but the environment that they live in. And that environment, as you can say, could be whether we pick up trash, helping children in foster care, whether we're helping with homelessness or trying to cure a disease. The fact that employees see their leaders, and by the way, you're a leader, to see their leaders truly care, is to me is the reason why I think we have such great teams.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. We are blessed with a wonderful, passionate, caring staff, and their hearts are very big, and they are very sincerely trying to do the things that we work on. And I guess a company sort of attracts, you know, a like-minded type, and we're very blessed to have people in our company that truly do take an interest in trying to move forward on the things that we are doing together as a corporation. Sustainability, case for giving, JDRF. We had so much wonderful involvement over so many years, and I think people really appreciate being part of something that they make a difference, but then their difference gets amplified by all the other people that are around them, and that just really makes what might be a small difference much more impactful and much more noticed by them. So I think that's part of the responsibility that we have as a company, to try and create that noticeable change by the grouping together of all the people within the company.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Well, I will tell you, this has been amazing conversation. For all of our listeners, our viewers who are watching on YouTube, we can do this together, my friends. This is an amazing opportunity. A case for giving. Please, there are retail stores all over our country that you can actually go in and make a difference. Make a difference. You can actually go in, you can visit briggs-riley.com. You can find out about this amazing program. You can actually go to Comfort Case's landing page, and you'll be able to click on and find out how you can be a part of this program. This program is for the month of May, for National Foster Care Awareness Month. But I will tell you, this is not the last time that you're going to see Comfort Cases and Briggs & Riley partner up. I just know that. I know that because we're like-minded people. And as my friend Richard said, this is not political. Okay, this isn't red or blue. Kids who are in the foster care system, they do not care how you vote. What they care about is that you care about them. Care about them. You
Very
know,
well said. Very well
Thank you, my
said.
friend. That's something that we all need to realize. And Richard, thank you so much for being a guest on Fostering Change. If you have any questions, please, you can always email us at fosteringchange@comfortcases.org. Please visit briggsandriley.com. Support what you all know that you can feel that love in your heart. I have people reach out to me all the time and say, "What can I do? What can I do? What can I do?" Well, here I'm letting you know what you can do. Not only can you not fill our landfills, which, by the way, we all know that is taking away land that we do desperately need, but you're able to help a child who is either coming in the foster care system, who is aging out of the foster care system. And by the way, I've all told you about the boy who I met, that for 3 years in foster care, he went to 11 homes. And all 11 homes, he carried a trash bag. We can't do that any longer, my friends. We have to have more care for children who are in our system, and we're doing that with Briggs & Riley. So once again, thank you, everybody. Please listen to our podcast, share our podcast, comment our podcast, and I hope each and every one of you decide, as Richard said, do something. Just one thing a day. Just one thing a day. Let's do something, and let's see how our world will change. Take care, everyone. I would like to thank all of you for listening to the Fostering Change podcast. You can subscribe on all of your favorite podcast streaming platforms, including Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Make sure you follow Comfort Cases on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter at Comfort Cases. Check out the Fostering Change blog at comfortcases.org. And I know some of you have a question, and I know some of you would love to be a guest. Please personally reach out to me at fosteringchange@comfortcases.org. That's fosteringchange@comfortcases.org. Then do me a big favor. Please help spread the word. Share this podcast. Share it with your friends and your family. Remember, I say this quite often. We're all part of the same community, and that community, it's not our zip code, but our human race. Let's all make a difference.